Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Daryl, and in today's class, we're going to put a little bit of focus on core strength, core stability. So that's going to include the deeper ab muscles, posture, a little bit of the posture muscles, back muscles, and yeah, we'll keep it fairly simple. No more than about 9 or 10 moves, and we'll see how we go. So the first thing, all we're going to need for today's class, optional, would be blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can always use cushions, you can always use thick books, things like that. And just make sure you have plenty of space to roll out your mat. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the breath. So I want you to start in a comfortable seated or kneeling position. The main thing is that we can sit tall, so you don't want to feel that you're slouching. And all I want you to do is find a rhythm with the breath that feels comfortable, feels relaxing for you. Once you feel you have that rhythm, then you're trying to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. All the time trying to maintain that natural breath. Just a few seconds in and a few seconds out. Now as we go through today's practice, you're going to be holding each of the poses. We're just going to do one set, one round on each one. If you're in a pose, in a level, and you suddenly feel that you're holding the breath, or the rhythm of the breath has completely changed where you're forcing it or it's speeding up, then that's the sign that we're just going too far too soon. So if we're experiencing that, just bring it back a level or two. And if that's not helping, just come out of the pose. We also don't want to feel pain or pressure in any of the joints, in any of the poses or sequences that we do. If you get mild discomfort in the muscle, that's normal, as long as it's not painful, and as long as you can still use the breath or breathe through. So before we do anything, we're going to gently move, warming up. So I want you to sit tall on the breath in, a little twist off to the side on the breath out, where you're reaching for the opposite knee. Come back to the middle on the breath in, take the twist to the other side. One more time each side, breathing in, sit tall, really over-exaggerate good posture, and then twist. And then last time, back to the middle, and then twist. Come back to center, hands behind. Push the chest up, pinch the shoulder blades on the breath in, and then relax or round the back on the breath out. And again, breathe in. Hand position is just whatever feels comfortable for your elbows. If your neck is a little tender on this one, you don't have to look up. You can look down or look forward and still get the same movement with the chest. One more time, lifting the chest and then relaxing. Okay, well done. From here, reposition yourself onto your hands and knees. Just finishing off the warm-up. I just want you to rock the hips out to one side, back to the middle, over to the other side, back to the middle, and then just a little bit quicker. Just working at your own speed. Okay, make the next one the last one, and now we're going to look up. We're arching the back, and then we round the back on the breath out, and again just work a nice steady rhythm. It feels comfortable for you. Pushing the chest forward and up on the breath in, pulling in the belly button on the breath out. Make the next one the last one. Well done. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start lying flat. We'll then progress up onto all fours, and then when we get to the seated section, that's close to the end. So flat on your stomach. First one, a variation of cobra pose, and we're going to do a nice gentle version. So have your legs straight but about hip width or slightly wider. So all the levels I'm giving you today are suitable for beginners. Yeah, we're not going to go past that. We want elbows underneath the shoulders, and I want you, first stage is just make the shape. So we're here, chest is up, and I'm looking down or looking forward and down. The next stage is to get active in the shape. So in this one, the legs you would roll towards each other, rolling the thigh bones towards each other. And then I'm actively pushing my arms into the floor, shoulders away from the ears. And I'm just trying to find a level that feels comfortable. where I can slow the breath down. We're trying to hold it 20 to 30 seconds max. If you need the time out, just rest out of the pose. So we're trying to avoid hunching the shoulders. We're trying to avoid collapsing the chest. We're trying to push that chest to get movement in the mid-upper back. Closer the legs are together, the more intensity you're going to feel in the lower back. So starting out, I would go that little bit wider to give you the space to push the chest more. So we can focus a little bit more mid-back. Just another breath or two. And then relax down. Okay, next one, we're going to do a variation of what's known as locust pose. So we're going to have arms. So the first one, that cobra, you were lifting the chest. Now we're going to reverse that. We're going to lift the legs. I'm going to give you a version with a single leg lift and then the double leg lift. Chest stays down. Head position, ideally looking down. If that's feeling uncomfortable for whatever reason, you can turn your head to the side. What I would say is when we do the single leg lift and your head is one way, turn the head the other way when we do the other leg. Okay, so we're lying down, knuckles down, palms up. Now, my head's going to be lifted just a little bit, which you can do if it feels okay on the neck. Main reason today is just because of the microphone. I don't want it hitting the floor. So we're here. I'm actively pushing knuckles into the floor, and all I'm going to do is lift one leg, keeping the leg straight, and we're here. Now the other leg, the other foot that's on the floor, I've got those toes curled under, and that helps me lift the straight leg up higher. It also helps me keep the pressure off the knee that's on the ground. I can actively push knuckles into the floor. I can actively pinch the shoulder blades together, which will help engage the posture muscles. And then relax. Other leg lift. So if you had your head turned to one side, you would now turn it to the other. Actively pulling, pinching the shoulder blades. The supporting foot, I have those toes curled under. And then relax. And then just final couple of breaths, lift both legs up, push knuckles into the floor, gently lift the chest, pinch the shoulders, just for 3, 2, and 1, relax. Okay, take your time to come up. So to counter that, little time out, toes together, knees apart, sit the bum back. Options, you can have head on the hands, you can have the arms out, head to floor. You can bring in blocks. And it's all just about taking a little time out before we go to the next section. Okay. So, that first section focused a little bit more on the back. Now we're going to focus a little bit more on core stability with some glute strength. So we're going to focus on all fours. When you have the weight in the hands, you want the weight on the thumb and index finger side of each hand. Keeps the pressure off the wrists as much as possible instead of collapsing out. Okay, so from here, think tabletop. Now you might not be completely flat, yeah? But in your head, that's what you're imagining. You imagine like a tabletop. You're pulling in the belly button. I'm engaging my pelvic floor muscles. Now from here, we're going to take one leg back. I'm going to straighten that leg back, toes are touching the floor, and then I'm going to lift this leg up. Now a lot of people, when they first do this move, they put all the weight onto the supporting side and their hips and pelvis shift. So you're trying to level out the hips and you'll suddenly feel more muscle engage. Only if this feels okay, the opposite hand to whatever leg is lifted, you can go fingertips. And if that's okay, you can stretch through that arm as well. And we're just holding for a few breaths. And then we relax. Like we did in the warm-up, a little bit of movement, just rocking the hips side to side. And then we set up all fours again, Other leg straighten back, toes touch the floor. If that feels okay, we lift the leg up. Careful you're not putting all the weight onto one side so the pelvis isn't all shifted, so we level out the hips. If this is okay, opposite hand fingertips on the floor. And if this is okay, we stretch that arm out. Just for a couple of breaths. And then we relax. Again, just rocking the hips side to side. Okay, so next one. Start it with a back bend. So you're going to push your ribs, your chest forward and up. If your neck feels okay, you move your chin up. So you're feeling as if you're trying to stretch the front of the body. From here, one leg, like you did before, extend it back, toes touch the floor. This time, you lift, then you bend the knee. Okay, now to make it a little tougher, I actively push into the floor to lift my back bend, and then I actively push my heel up to engage a little bit more muscle in the glutes and in the back. I'm holding that back bend and squeezing the glutes. Try not to hold the breath, and then relax. Like you did in warm up, just relax, rock the hips. Okay, one more time, other leg. So start with the back bend, push the chest, the ribs. Other leg, straighten it back. Lift, bend the knee. That's the shape that we need. To get active in the shape, I push hands into the floor to lift or develop the back bend. I kick the back leg up to engage a little bit more muscle in the glutes towards the back as well. I'm just holding, play about with the position. If you feel your weight's all over on one side and you're not feeling much muscle, engage. Level out the hips more. Feel as if you've got even pressure in the hands more. And relax, well done. Okay, so just to counter that, nice gentle twist to finish off section 2 of 3. Drop one elbow to the floor. We're looking to the side and we're holding. Only if this feels comfortable, slide the arm or thread that arm under to try and get the shoulder to the ground. And if you can get your shoulder to the floor, then you can rest your head. Other hand is there, fingertips to support the twist. And then we take our time to come back to the middle. And then it's the other side. Elbow down. Looking across the floor. If this is okay, slide the arm under. Make sure the shoulder's down before you rest the head. Then fingertips on the floor to help develop the twist. And then we come back to the middle. Well done. Okay, sitting on the floor. So, the first move, we're going to engage a lot of muscle in the midsection, the obliques, around the ribs, the waist. And if you find that you're slouching, you can bring your blocks in, 2 blocks together, and you can make a little seat. That can help take the pressure off your back. You can do this with legs straight out, you can do it with legs crossed, whatever works for you. So I'm more comfortable with legs crossed. We're going to sit as tall as we can. So this is very similar to the warm-up. We're going to twist, but we're going to hold it. We'll start supported and then we'll go unsupported. And that's when you'll start to feel that midsection engage. So opposite hand reaches across for the leg, maybe the knee. The other hand is behind, fingertips on the floor. I'm gently pulling the knee to twist. I'm gently pressing my back hand into the floor to remind me to sit tall. When I get my twist as deep as I can go, then I have the option to turn my head slightly. Now starting out, that might be enough. If you want to engage more muscle, both hands, lift, just hold on to the opposite hand wrist. and we hold the twist. You will be tempted to come back to the center, keep trying to twist, develop it, sitting tall on the breath in, work the ribs around on the breath out. Gonna get all this muscle engaged around the ribs, around the waist, around the back. Keep the belly button pulled in, pelvic floor muscles engaged, and then come back to the middle. Okay. Other side. So we sit tall, opposite hand for leg or knee, other hand behind on fingertips. I'm pulling on the knee to twist. I'm pressing my back hand into the floor to remind me to sit tall. Don't hold the breath. If this feels fine, hands free. Keep trying to develop the twist, keep trying to control the breath. And relax. Good stuff, good work. So we've got one more pose to finish. We'll do a little counter movement, and that's us done. So sitting on the floor, hugging under the legs. So we're trying to find the balance point. If you're on blocks, you want to be on the floor for this one. If you've got any sort of injury with the tailbone or back, you might want to cushion up. If that's not helping, then just don't go that far into the levels, maybe the first 1 or 2 levels. So the chest is lifted, I'm hugged under, and then I put the weight back. You can see the feet, I'm just on the heels. Then I'm trying to find my balance point. So for a lot of people, this will be more than enough. Ways to make it tougher: you lighten the grip, or you go hands free. You'll engage not only the midsection and the back, but also the thighs and the hip flexors. Other ways to make it tougher: you start to bring the feet up. Maybe you straighten the legs. We'll turn on side on here slightly so you can see better. So we're here or here. And then the ultimate level then to go hands free with straight legs. And we're just holding, holding, holding. A lot of muscle engagement in the thighs. Keep the chest up and then relax. Well done. So to finish off, we'll go with legs crossed again or legs straight out. I want you to put your hands behind whatever position's comfortable for your elbows, so you can have fingers to the side or fingers behind. I prefer fingers pointing forward, whatever works for you. The weight is in my hands and then I'm pushing the chest. So it's similar to the warm-up, but we're going to engage more muscle in that posture area, that mid-upper back. So I want you to pinch the shoulder blades together as you drive the ribs and chest, move the chin up, maybe drop the head back. Just holding, holding, holding. Breathing nice and steady. Well done. And relax. And that's it. Quick class, short class. But before you go, always make sure to take rest. So all I mean by that is you can either lie flat on your back, you can lie on your stomach, your side, you might prefer to sit, whatever's comfortable. Get comfortable, get warm, and just spend 5 to 10 minutes focusing on your breath. So you're trying to slow the breath down, maybe slightly longer on the breath out, and you're trying to get your heart rate low. Once you've got your 5 to 10 minutes finished with taking rest, that's you all done. Great work as always, and I'll see you again soon.